Let's go. Hi, this is Molly Golden. I am the president and founder of Go Mom Inc. And today we are going to talk budget. We are going to talk taxes. We are going to talk coupons because lately we have had so much chaos in the news with what's going on with our national government. Hello, can you say last minute? Along with what we've got going on with that government poll. If you are waiting on that tax money, if there were to be a government shutdown, which could now happen this coming Friday, you wouldn't perhaps get your refund back. And then extreme couponing. Couponing's been all in the news lately with the chaos of the new TLC shows coming out for the latest round of extreme couponing. And it's got a lot of people in a tussle about how it may impact the couponing world. And at the same time, we have Mom Congress going on as we broadcast. Parenting Magazine has pulled together this wonderful collaboration of people. There's 50 women from all over the country meeting in DC, and they're talking with people like Jamie Oliver. And when you think about couponing and food and the kinds of coupons that you can use, and is that really the best food for you? So those are some of the things I'd like to talk about. Hi, Linda. Welcome to the show today. Thanks for joining me. Let me just say hello and welcome to Go Mom Live. So first, let's talk budget. I found it fascinating to see how everything got to the very last minute before our Congress was able to work itself out and get a resolution to give them time in order to figure out what to do. You might recall that back in January, I went to DC with momthink.org. And at MomThink, we spent a lot of time on Capitol Hill looking to talk with our local congresspeople, which I was able to, talk with the staff for our local congressman, David Price, and learn more about their opinions on the budget. And when I was there back in January, it was amazing because at that time, they were talking about April 8th, and it seemed so far away. I couldn't envision April 8th being here and us actually facing the reality of a government shutdown. That didn't make any sense. And sure enough, they ran it down to the last hour. So it made me think about what we do in our personal lives. If you've ever been in a situation where your budget's been really tight, like down to the wire tight for a bill being due, or if your budget's been upside down where you haven't had enough money to close the gap. What kind of sacrifices do American families have to make every day? And we don't get to vote to give ourselves an extension. And we don't get to tell our mortgage company, you know what, I really need another week and then I'll have that money for you. We get penalized right away. So I'm wondering, why don't lawmakers get penalized when they don't meet their deadlines? I mean, really, why don't lawmakers get penalized for not meeting their deadlines like we do? I'm just curious. Linda, you're saying that you're a stay-at-home mom in a single income household, so usually your needs are put off last, not by choice, not by demand. That's totally by choice. I mean, of course we think, I'm in complete agreement with you. I've worked from home for 11 years, but it's very similar to being a stay-at-home mom. My income is not the primary income for our family, though it's necessary, very necessary. So I always tend to put everybody first when I make the budget priorities, and then I can cut things as I go. In fact, we were making a grocery list yesterday, and payday is coming this Friday, and I was like, oh, we don't really need to get paper plates and cups right now. We've been starting to cook out more and have friends over, and we seem to be going through the paper goods a little bit more often. So, but I was like, that's a luxury. We can do the dishes if somebody comes over, and just took some things off the list that weren't really essentials because gas is going up by the day for our cars, right? And it just makes it too complicated. So we have to make those choices and put ourselves last. And I just wonder, how does Congress put ourselves last? Because it seems like in this budget discussion that happened this past Friday, Congress didn't put themselves last. They put a lot of the American people last. So Hi, Linda, Latina. How are you today? Thanks for stopping by. I've got double Lindas today. I'm feeling really lucky. We should have it be a Linda only show, right? Then I wouldn't be able to be here, so that would be a problem. We're talking about budgets and talking a little bit about what happened with the United States government and how that trickles down to us here at home, the hard choices that we have to make on our budgets. I'm wondering, have you guys, I hope it's not too personal to ask, but are you done with your taxes? Do you have your taxes turned in already? Or are you nail biting it at the very end here, running it down to the wire? Personally, I have my taxes in, turned in, and refund received. That's good news because, as I mentioned earlier, if you were waiting on your refund to be processed, even if your taxes have gone in, your refund might not come back out. Do you try and work that? My husband and I have always tried to keep it around $1,000. That we like to get just a little bit back, but not so much that we think, ooh, we could have been earning interest on that. And I always feel like that $1,000 is just a huge gift, and we almost nail it to the dime every year. So um, either that means nothing's changed and it's easy to project, or we have a good accountant, and I think it's probably a little bit of both, right, with the economy. So, Linda, Latina, you did your taxes early. Um, how do you guys define early? Because for me, because I work from home as a contractor in a lot of ways, I have to wait to get 1099s from the different companies that I may have worked with through the year. So I really can't easily get my tax return in until after February 1st. So I consider February 1st as my, your tax returns in by February 1st, as my drop dead versus any earlier than January. So you're February 15th, Linda, saving statements and such. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I don't know if you guys do your taxes or if you use an accountant but I find it interesting that the accountant, a lot of people don't realize that accountants are going to do their business clients first because their deadline is usually April 1st for business. So if you don't get your tax return in early enough, then you'll have, even though they have your tax return at the accountant's office, they may then hold it and wait until they get done with all of those and then come back at it. And then here your taxes don't get filed until just up until the very deadline. I didn't realize that one year we did have to sit in the pool and wait while they got the corporate returns done because we file a separate business return than we do for my company than we do for our family return. So that was a little surprising. So I was pleased about that. Linda, your husband does it with TurboTax because you don't usually have. It's so easy. Oh my gosh, I wish we could do ours with TurboTax. It's because of my being self-employed, it makes it a little bit more complicated, but that's really a good thing. So here's a question. Do you find that you change your budget after you do your taxes? Linda, you were mentioning that you use that tax return to pay bills from Christmas purchases, right? And I'm just wondering, does the process of going through your taxes for both of you, Lindas, help make you realize maybe we should tweak something here or there? I know for us, sorry, that's my dog. It's my Stanley. He's my coworker. He's let me know it's time for a coffee break, but not yet. Just he needs to go around the water cooler, right? I find that when we do our taxes, it does help us do an inventory of how we've been spending over the past year, if we were charitable enough, if there's something that we need to do differently. And I always appreciate that temperature marker. Also, I find that if I do this kind of money check-in every quarter like we're doing today and saying, what about my budgets? What about my taxes? Could I have done those better? Then it gives me a chance to start the second quarter of the year, which is April through June, a lot more organized and back on track. I find that it helps me just reinvest in, okay, if I give myself 3-month chunks, over the next 3 months, my goals are to save X amount by couponing, or to cut back X amount by eating in more, or to earn X amount by having a garage sale, or earn X amount by increasing my business. All of those things, if I work in 3-month goals, that seems to help me feel like I can achieve it. So So those are some of the thoughts that I have on budgeting. Linda, normally you have cash Christmas, you're unusual because you purchased a car unexpectedly. Oh yeah, hello. There's nothing like a car, right? Um, that's a good idea to budget your tax money as vacation money because then it's money that's already being saved for you. I like that. That's a really good idea. I'll have to think about that. Hi, PB&J. Thanks for stopping by. So we've been talking about budgeting and some of the ways that you might use your tax return. Linda was just sharing that she uses it usually towards vacation. Unexpected purchase for a car changed that this past year. And we're also talking about, I find it interesting that the federal government was able to give a vote to have a little extra time to work out their budget, but how we at home, we never have that. So how do we make sure that we're always staying on track with our budget? Does anybody here use budgeting software? I'm curious to know. I have always said that I want to use budgeting software. I think I'd really like a bank that had a better online bill paying process. I don't have that in the bank that we use. It's a little bit smaller bank, but I love the bank, so it's like, ugh. And I know some of the bigger banks, which I actually don't care for, but they have online bill paying and a budgeting process that you can run through that. And so automatically everything's all looped together. I know some people have suggested mint.com is supposed to be really great. I haven't used it before. So it looks like we're all in the same boat. So if you guys don't use budgeting software, then how do you do your budgets? Because can you imagine the federal government if they, I can't even imagine, oh, we're going to make $39 billion in cuts. Can you just imagine all the coding that goes into running that electronically? So let's see, we follow Dave Ramsey. Oh, Josie, hi, welcome to the room. You follow Dave Ramsey and you do paper and pen. Well, I took Dave Ramsey's class last year over the spring simply as kind of an educational, wanted to be able to have a dialogue with Moms and Money last spring in the same way. And I found it really interesting. And he does offer the Gazelle software. Have you checked into that at all? I always feel like the more I can do to make it easier on me, the better off I'll be. But how much time then do you find that you spend each week working with that pen and paper budget through Dave Ramsey? Oh, you use the envelope wallet. Oh my goodness, that is such a great tool. And let me tell you, if you want one that's just a little bit more fashionable, not that there's anything wrong with that one, I like the envelope wallet a lot. But if you wanted something a little bit more fashionable, go to savvysense.com and you can get, it doesn't have the slip in with the thing where you can write it down, but you can have the dividers. Okay, Linda, if you go to, yes, Josie's typing in, if you go to daveramsey.com, in his system for financial management, he includes a wallet and that has a series of envelopes. And the principle in Dave Ramsey is that it's all cash all the time. Even for, you pull out your money, you have your grocery money, you have your gasoline money, and that means you get out of the car and you go pay the attendant. You have your money that you would use for any of your kids' activities. Any money that's not going to be paid by check for a bill, either online or by old-fashioned check, you're going to pay cash in. And the principle is that it's zero-based budgeting, right, Josie? And zero-based budgeting means that you allocate every single penny that comes into your house so that you should be running out of money every 2 weeks or however often you get paid. Now we do that as well. We are cash only. It's interesting. One of my sons was invited to join another teammate at a tennis camp this summer, and they have an early registration. And one of the moms said, well, are you able to register your son now? We need to go ahead and register. And I said, no, actually, I don't have the $250 cash for that right now. I'll need to wait a couple of weeks. And she looked at me like I was a human, monster. And I said, yeah, we do everything in cash. So you'll need to give me a couple more weeks before we can go ahead and swing that. And I think she was stunned. Now, there are times where it's great to pay with a credit card, and that camp might be a good time to put the deposit on the credit card, because if I had to cancel, then I would have some sort of recourse and then pay it in full in cash instead of let it go through the credit card. Josie, you say you save cash for clothes, car parts, household items, etc. How long have you been doing Dave Ramsey, Josie? Because I find the whole Dave Ramsey platform fascinating, and really, I want to encourage everybody that we are in a fresh start right now. The taxes are done from 2010. We're only 3 months into 2011, and you've got a huge clean slate in front of you to say, well, I'm going to do 3-month goals. For the next 3 months, we're going to do this. And then we're going to do this in the third quarter and this in the fourth quarter, so that by the time you get to next April, you might be feeling a lot more empowered and in charge. So Josie, if you took the class about 4 years ago and started the cash only August 2009, and is it as liberating as they say? Because it certainly seems like it. I know for us, we stopped using credit cards while I was in the class, and it is, I love that for more than a year, everything has been cash. And it wasn't hard to make that switch, I didn't find. Although it's hard to have the discipline sometimes, it wasn't as hard as I thought it might be. And Josie, you say you're debt-free but the house. Wow, that is amazing. Congratulations, I love it. Oh, you're a 31 consultant and you use a credit card for that. That makes sense. Yeah, for business. That's a little bit different though. You're managing your business that way. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed. I think it's amazing when people take charge of their financial well-being. So Dave Ramsey's everybody's favorite site. Well, not everybody's, but of those of us here, both Josie and I can vouch for Dave Ramsey being a go-to site. Linda, interest. You almost never have cash. You use one credit card and pay it off every month. Cash bonus back builds up over a year. We use it to help pay Christmas bill. We're debt-free, including our house. Nice. Very nice, including your house. That's an amazing accomplishment. I always think that being debt-free, including your house, also has to involve living somewhere long enough. My husband and I have only been in our house for 5.5 years. So, and we are in a situation where the way that his career goes, we're never sure how long. We were in our previous community for 7 years, so that was pretty long, although I expect that we'll be here longer. But I always think that it's a really important goal for people to set at the very beginning of their foray into real estate, to be conservative so that they can have that cash-free lifestyle or cash-only lifestyle, and have that debt-free lifestyle, and have it include their house even if they move. It's really important. Oh goodness, how great. You've lived in one place for 19 years. That's amazing. Kind of missed the list. Categories entertainment. PB&J, let's see, let's go back. You're saying you like to see what you spent on the card at the end of the year, and sales tax was also listed. You kind of missed the list in categories. And yeah, that is a good point. Depending on who you are, if you have the discipline to work to go well with credit card and pay it off every month, it does provide you, just like Linda said, and you're saying, that automatic reporting, and that's a good thing. So let's kind of segue into, we're talking about budgets, and this is a fresh start. Do you guys do you do quarterly kind of brush ups like I'm talking about, where you look at the year in 4 quarters and say, what are we doing each quarter? Because I find that that's a very helpful way to go. And let's talk couponing. Do you guys coupon at all? I coupon a little bit, not nearly as much as I would like. However, I'm finding that I did a video about this at the beginning of the year about how much money I had wasted, and I've gotten a lot better about making sure that I never go to the store without coupons, and we make sure to make the most of all of our double, buy one get one frees if they're items that we were going to buy anyway, and also making sure to go up on super coupon double days. I live in North Carolina, so Harris Teeter is very generous with their coupon policy. Josie, you were going back to quarterly. You do update your budget quarterly on groceries and gas. Linda, you working with the new binder system you set up? No, we should start couponing. Find it hard to remember. Leave your coupons intact and have them folders by then. Only cut them when you need them. Now, I found that the Coupon Mom does it like Josie, where you keep the coupons and you only cut what you need, basically. It's an only cut what you need system that you also match with a database, right? And it sounds like Linda might be working with the binder system. You guys might want to check out. There's a gal local to me. Because they are all different sizes. Yes. Faye Prosser is a local coupon guru here in the Raleigh area. And she does do a binder process. We also have a gal named Sue Stock, and she has some great Coupon 101 information. She's actually a writer for the News and Observer, which is our newspaper, and you can find her online. I think it's newsandobserver.com. I'm spelling that wrong. She has a lot of great introductory information. Linda, you love the Coupon Moms site matchup for weekly, but if you don't click them, then you're always wanting one that is at home. That's true. Josie, you always go through the coupons to see if you have coupons for items I need that are not on sale. Yeah, it's interesting. I found that, I don't know about you guys, but I found that once I started using coupons, the automatic shift in my mind went to, I don't want to buy anything unless it's on sale. Anything. And if it's not on sale, then I would go to that cheapest brand, whatever that brand is, and not be picky about that it has to be a certain kind of spaghetti sauce. And that was an interesting shift for me. You like the companies on Facebook and Twitter so you can get coupons on free stuff. I haven't done a whole lot of that. The time investment I think is really important. Some people say, oh, I don't have any time to do coupons. Well, it's all in relativity. What we're seeing on extreme couponing, those people are hardcore doing it all the time. The question is, what are they buying? Are those things that you would buy? And if it's not something you would buy, then why are you buying it? What difference does a coupon make? Unless it's a coupon for something that you could donate. I look at all that they have on extreme couponing and think, oh, the amount of good that they could do, right? So let's see. You don't forget Target has coupons you can print from their site. You can use Sun coupons with the Target coupons. I'm not sure what Sun coupons are, Josie. Where are you located? They're giving couponers a bad name. Oh, Sunday. Sorry. Sorry about that. Oh, Linda, yes, I do think there's been some conversation about the extreme couponers really giving the whole process of couponing a bad name because it is so outrageous to see. And I don't think anyone can disagree with me that having 3 years of anything does constitute hoarding. There's no way that anybody needs to have 3 years of anything on hand. So, exactly, the mustard was mind-boggling. And here's another thought. If it could sit on your shelf for 3 years, should you put it in your body? I mean, it's one thing to have that much toothpaste and mouthwash, but shouldn't that go to Haiti or Japan or anywhere that we're having flooding or the tornadoes that we just had this past weekend here in our own country? Yeah, it really does gross me out. So we've got, I agree, we should donate it to charity. So we've got both a binder system. Linda, you've got a detailed binder system, and then Josie, you do the folders and pull them as they go. And do you guys find that you can average? For me, my grocery bill runs. Yes, Linda, if you're able to get those kind of deals, then you should consider it your job to be charitable. Wouldn't that be rewarding? That could be a way to handle it, wouldn't it? You do the coupon holder, so you have something that sits right there on your grocery cart and sets it out. I always marvel at the gals that open up and they've got their big, huge zipper binder and they got the whole thing going on. That blows my mind. I think I get stressed at the prospect that there's something I might be missing, that I need to know the rhythm of the sales and have that down so that then I'm making sure to get the most of my money. It's almost like I put too much pressure on myself because I have teenage boys, so we go through 2 pounds of meat. When if I make a meal with meat, 1.5 pounds easily. So there's not a whole lot left. Yes, I like the Coupon Mom because she does the work for me too. That's exactly right. So I find though that between coupons and using what's on sale at the store, I can usually get between $50 and $75 off what my grocery bill would have been. I've had a few times where I've had a little over $100 off, but usually that's a bigger shop, and it may not have as many fresh items. We tend to go through a lot of fruits and vegetables here, so there's not usually coupons for things like that. So what about you guys? Are you finding that you have a good percentage? The most you've gotten is about $30. We have Harris Teeter here, which although we have a Super Walmart and we have a Target, there are some things that are always less expensive at Walmart. Their frozen food section is very inexpensive, but that's probably the only section that I would definitely go to all the time. The rest of it, my produce is much better at my Harris Teeter, but what I find is our Harris Teeter runs a lot of great BOGO deals and also on our meat. I know, Walmart is hard. It just happens to be near my daughter's school, so every now and again I may run in there if it seems like we need a lot of frozen stuff. But that's one category where I notice the competition. Yes, Harris Teeter, about 30% a week, exactly. And that's, I think if you just, that's one of the benefits of shopping at one store pretty regularly is you do get to know the rhythm of what they're doing. I mean, right now strawberries are by 4 for $5 this week at Harris Teeter. And again, with 2 teenagers, we can go through 2 containers of strawberries like that. But I'd much rather have them do that than go through a bag of chips, which they can also go through like that. We had tacos last night, and literally I'd say 60% of the bag is gone. Now, granted, one of the people at dinner actually chose to have nachos, but still, it's the principle of the thing. You usually go to Ingles and they do coupons up, they double coupons up to 50 cents. See, that's the difference. At Harris Teeter, they double coupons up to 99 cents, and then they'll have super coupon days where they'll double your larger coupon up to $1.98. So that's kind of how they work it. But I am curious to know if you guys think that that's going to change because of this show that TLC has in place. I know Harris Teeter does limit you to 20 coupons per visit. So you'd need to shop, and if you wanted to use more than 20 coupons, come back and, present another 20 coupons or split your trip in half. But I'm wondering if the grocery market's going to really clamp down. I hope not. I may have to start. Oh, so Kroger has changed I did see something about that. The Kroger had changed their double coupon policy in Texas and wondered if that was going to ripple through. My parents shop at Kroger and they just live 3 miles away from me, but I don't shop over at that Kroger because that's actually, I have a Harris Teeter right nearby. I grew up with Kroger right across the street from our house actually, but I just find that Harris Teeter tends to work for me, but maybe I should check it out. So any other thoughts? You like Ingles and Kroger's. Linda, I have to police myself with coupons because I want to buy things we know. Well, see, that's the thing. You don't want to buy something just because you have a coupon for it. And even with a coupon, sometimes items can be more expensive than the house brand, which is just plain less than that. And I think that's something that you really have to, the benefit of couponing is it helps you start to be aware of pricing, whether or not you end up using coupons. That's the most important thing, is that you are aware of what the prices are on the items that your family most often uses. Because if you're like my family, generally you have certain things that you're going to be eating and buying all the time. So it's not going to get all that different. You have meals that you make. The list, I have a basic group of things that I know every single week I'll be buying more bananas, apples, strawberries, yogurts, bread, and lunch meat. I buy fresh deli lunch meat. Some of the fruit, I can rotate through certain fruits based on what's on sale, but I'm not going to buy fruit that they're not going to eat because it'll just go to waste. So some of that's going to work out really well. Others of it, I'm just going to have to buy it for the price that it is. I always careful about making sure to buy whatever meat's on sale. That will dictate a little bit about what we have for our dinners. And we do eat meat probably 4 times a week, so different kinds of meat, chicken and whatnot. So I don't know. I find that the money that I save couponing isn't necessarily, this will be my last question for you guys. Do you take, when you see that savings on your bill, do you then take that amount of money and put it into your savings account? Because I think in a perfect world, that's what would happen, is that whatever you save on your grocery bill, you would challenge yourself to save and put in the bank. Let's see. Oh, Josie, you do a meat run at Sam's Club. Ooh, that's a really good idea. Do you find that their bulk meat is a good supply for you? I might need to check that out. We have a Sam's Club, it's about 30 minutes from us. I did a great project with them and I fell in love with it, but 30 minutes on the highway is a ways to go for meat when gas costs $3.75 a gallon. So, but I'll leave you guys with that challenge. Next time you go to the grocery store, depending on how much you save, challenge yourself to put the exact same amount of money in your bank account and see if you can do it. See how it impacts your budget. It's just the two of us. You have a food saver, so for you it works out great. Yes, that does work out great. For me, it's just a matter of logistics, but there is a BJ's close by, so maybe I'll try out the BJ's. Do you guys have any other questions for me? Please feel free to email me at mgold@gomominc.com. I really enjoyed talking with you today, learning a little bit more about how you budget, talking about Dave Ramsey. Love hearing the message of Dave Ramsey, talking about couponing and the practicality of it or not. And let's see if we can take the challenge. I'm going to have another Moms and Money show in 3 months. when we're getting into that back to school season. Oh, Linda, I'm so glad that you find it informative. You know, I try hard to make sure to have topics that are interesting and timely, so it's worth taking time from your busy schedule. But let's come back in 3 months and talk moms and money for back to school and see what you guys have to say. And thanks for encouraging me to continue to work on my budget and coupons. And let's see what happens if we actually save that extra bit of money every month. Let's see how it goes. Take care, guys. Have a great week.